Gotta find Gert, as he kind of starts running through the rain back towards the farmhouse. He is like completely abandoned you kind of deal.
That's fine. Does Pharrell notice that I'm there, or is he staring at Derb?
The rain and wind have picked up enough. You cannot. You didn't see him burst out, but you have lost him for the time being. You don't see him anywhere.
Okay then. Um. Oh, what should I do? What should I do? He is the bad person. It is storming too much. Think.
You begin to hear growling around the side of the barn. Um, you peer around just enough to notice that there are 3 or 4 good hellhounds that have torn into these barrels and are just munching on this goo inside. So that completely confirmed your everything
Just
suspicion so far.
okay. Uh. Oh man. Okay, I want to try and avoid them.
Oh, they
I've got
don't
it.
seem to have taken notice of you at all.
Good. Uh. I'm going to head back to the barnhouse.
You stealthily try to make your way back, trying to keep close to anything to see if there is a potentially dangerous man around here somewhere, as well as a few hellhounds. You're sure have gotten inside somehow.
Yes.
You manage to make your way. You are at the vicinity of the farmhouse. You do not really hear any commotion or anything inside. The door is wide open.
That is suspicious. Um. I peek inside.
You peek inside. You can see the half orc attending to the other half orc who's lying prone. As far as you can tell, he's still breathing, but he's looks like he's been beat some more.
I reach into my pocket and throw a pebble to get his attention.
Derb happens to look over and he sees you.
Just I mouth to him, "Where is he?"
Derb says, "Boss man gone. Don't know."
Okay. I'm going to sneak up back to my room and gather my ball of moss.
Hardly run upstairs, making sure that boss man's not up in your room or anything. Your room looks untouched. You don't even think he's made it back in the house or upstairs. The moss is just where you left it. As soon as you pick it up, it instantly shrivels up to its little softball size.
Good. Okay.
Um,
Is there a I think I'm going to wait it out until no. Need to do something. Need to do action. I can't combat this on my own.
uh,
Mm, and I left
you
my bird.
you instantly hear what sounds like another wail of pain as another crack of a whip is heard from downstairs.
Well,
You
now I know they're back.
miserable ingrates! As you hear the shouting start up again. Should have
This
sold
isn't
you when I had the chance! And just insults and all sorts start bellowing forth.
okay. I can't.
Where is he? As another crack of the whip is heard. He knows
I
too
come.
much!
I take a sip of a mana pop bottle.
Alright, you're back up to full mana.
I gotta get ready. I draw my weapon and start heading downstairs.
What weapon?
My reforged sword.
Okay. You make your way down to the bottom of the steps, and you can see Pharrell is there. He's kind of thrown his raincoat to the side. He is mercilessly whipping Derb now.
Has he noticed me or no?
No, his back is to you. He's more worried about torturing this poor half-orc. Screaming at him.
Would I be able to animate his whip to stop?
You're not sure you can do such a moving object like that.
Understood. Okay then. Um,
Derb is kind of lying, kind of protecting his face as he's no longer being whipped on his back. He's like being whipped in his face, his front.
can I cast the stasis orb on someone else?
As far as you were taught, you're not sure. You were taught to cast it around yourself.
Okay, so that's out of the question. You know what? I'm just going to air throw Pharrell into the wall.
Okay. Roll it. I'll give you
You should
advantage because he's away from
totally not seeing it coming.
you.
19.
Oh, perfectly. The whip falls right out of his hand as you plaster him right up against the wall. One of the few little adornments falls off as he kind of clatters to the floor. He looks up. He seems enraged, but he still has that horrid glazed look over his eyes with the neon glow to him.
I understand perfectly now what's going on. He is not the bad juju itself. He is possessed. If his eyes are glazed and his farm used to have good meat and everything, now something is wrong. It's got to be possession or something.
He just stands up and you see him crack his neck almost unnaturally. I'm afraid you've seen too much.
I haven't seen enough until I see your end. You're treating these individuals wrong, and I don't know what is going on with your animals.
He doesn't seem to really respond. He seems to just be studying you or taking you in. He raises one hand up with a large gout of flame, which rocket from his hands, just sitting there like a show of power.
Can I want to try and dispel him.
You believe you could possibly dispel the fireball?
Yeah,
Not quite sure.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Okay, you can try it. Dispel magic. You don't even need to roll.
Okay.
That's almost like an instant. You just put out the fire in his hand. I did appreciate you coming. I did enjoy your company. Was I not hospitable?
You were, indeed. And I do appreciate that.
Did I not offer you a bed?
You did.
Did I not offer you a good meal?
Indeed. You have been nothing but a gracious host. However, what you're doing is wrong.
What I'm doing is not wasting, he says. Is that a little funny feeling you've got in the pit of your stomach? Feeling a bit uneasy about this whole thing? Or maybe your dinner just isn't settling well. Did it taste a little funny to you, Inspector?
I figured as much. Why do you think I didn't accept any of your other gracious offerings?
He reels up with both arms, flames engulfing both of his arms like he's about to grab you with these flaming arms as he looms hauntily towards you. Instantly taken down by a half-orc who has plowed him, like tackled him into the kitchen, crashing into the wall, upsetting the table. You look over in amazement as it was none other than Gert who happened to get up and tackle this guy. The more hurt of the two. Derb manages to get to his feet. Gotta go, as he kind of ushers you out the front door. He hurries you both out into the rain. You're standing out. The rain's let up a little bit, but it is still raining. You can now see the faint glow of these hellhounds are kind of all over the place now in this ranch. more haunting bellowing can be heard from the barn. As what looks like the doors are wide open and there are more hellhounds kind of filing into the barn. You can only imagine what's going on.
So they're all heading into the barn to probably eat those animals.
As far as you can tell, that's probably what's going on.
Well, that's where I would like to head.
You kind of start making your way over towards the barn. The hellhounds don't really seem to take notice of you guys at all.
Well,
Like,
that's
almost
good
like you
then.
were invisible.
Good.
Um, you get about halfway there, and there's a large clatter of glass as you turn around to see a half-orc has just been thrown through a window from the house.
Mm. There's not really much I can do since I'm halfway away. I hope for him. We keep making it towards the. No, I send the half orc to help his other friend with another one of the health potions. My last health potion.
He takes it and he runs back to attend to his other.
I head to the barn still.
You get close enough to see inside, and it is a mess of hellhounds, and these creatures just flop to the side. They are being mauled and destroyed.
Is one of the filled barrels, still intact?
You kind of weave your way through these hellhounds, literally brushing up against them and everything. They are warm to the touch as they are glowing with red evanescence and possibly fire, but they still don't even take notice of you, like you weren't even there. You can kind of peer around the corner. There still seems to be a good handful of these barrels they have not noticed yet.
Excellent. Good. I'm just gonna wait in that area until their master shows up. He's gonna be looking for me. I have an idea.
You hear more horrid screams as it sounds like the orcs are being hit or beat on again.
I want to enchant a pebble with no, one of my bombs with light and throw it in their direction. In that direction to get the guy's attention.
You believe the explosive will probably do just enough. You don't necessarily have to cast it with light.
I know, but if I use fire and light, it'll be a really nice firework and
True.
just light up everything. Temporarily, at least, like a giant flash of lightning in a ball.
Okay.
That's the effect I'm going for.
Okay, so that's another 20 mana as you set this little explosive grenade with light and lob it into the distance. A good arc of light streaks the sky as this thing explodes in the general direction of where those guys were.
Excellent.
To which all the sounds and the wailing stops, and you see out of the little bit evanescence of smoke and light that still lingers this figure that seems to be slightly burning, trudging your way. You just see the yellow glow of presumably its two eyes.
Yep. And I'm still just sitting there waiting for him to show up. I just shout, "I'm over here."
Roll me a d20.
20.
Alright.
What was I rolling for, may I ask?
You were rolling forward to see what he was going to do. You now see he's about to start lobbing fireballs at you.
I want to throw up the stasis orb around me and at least one barrel. Like I'm sitting on the barrel.
Okay. You got a crit, so I have to give that to you. You managed to throw up this stasis. He does still, regardless, lob a lava fireball, which dissipates around your shield.
Yeah.
He will do it once more with a net 1, nothing, and a 13, which dissipates again around your shield.
I'm just going to presume that that cost me another 20, so I'm going to...
Yes.
Yeah.
He gets right up next to your shield. This thing is partially on fire. Like he's literally burning.
Excellent. He is within distance of what I want you to do. I am going to take my shield down and roll out of the way. That should put me a little distance away from him and him right next to the barrel, right?
Yes, if he's going... he's gonna try and grab you at this point, so if you time it right.
Should I roll for a contest? I would like to roll to contest. See if
Sure, go ahead. I got a 13.
I've got a 15.
Alright, you basically dispel this stasis orb and jump out of the way, and basically he goes down threateningly to grab you like around the shoulders and just plunges his hands through this barrel.
Perfect.
To which liquid and mess starts to flow from it as he pulls his hands out.
All over him, right? Hopefully.
All on his hands at least, and starts spilling out into the floor. A few of these stray hellhounds begin to take notice that there is something delicious here.
And now I want to try and air throw the barrel, even though it's got holes in the top. I want to air throw that into his body.
Roll a d20 for accuracy.
You can see what I'm trying to do, don't you? I got 16.
Alright, another 20 mana, and you manage to break this barrel apart on top of him. He is coated in this viscous goo and viscera as it slightly catches flame, as basically these hellhounds instantly pounce upon him and start to attempt to tear him asunder as he begins to try and get to his feet and start running away into the night. A good collection of hellhounds run after him as he goes into the night, into the darkness.
Excellent. That should keep him busy for quite some time.
The half-orcs saddle up each other, holding each other up just barely, make their way towards you.
I meet them halfway and check on them.
They both look worse for wear. They've seen better days.
Alright, I don't have...
They don't seem interested to really say anything.
I just tell them, let's get out of here.
You instantly all three of you start making your way towards the gate, to which large bursts of flame, fire just starts going haywire from the general direction you saw this treat of a man run off into. They just start going haywire. Roll a perception, or roll an evasion. Roll a d20. These will start going haywire. Alright, you manage to just barely stop in time as one kind of rockets haywirely in front of your general direction. Basically, fireworks of flame start rocketing out here and there, and you start hearing whimpering of these hellhounds as you're pretty sure that they're not really winning.
Well, they may not be winning, but that'll still take out at least something. We still try and leave. No, I have an idea. I still have that crystal, right?
Yes, you do.
How well would he be able to... How many people can he teleport with that? Just one?
As far as you can tell, it's probably just one.
Okay,
You make your way towards the gate, and you were almost abruptly stopped as this hellhound goes rocketing over your head like it was tossed. Haphazardly, this thing goes rocketing over the gate out into the path in the distance. It manages to kind of get up and run off into the woods. You look behind you through the wind and the rain, and there is a very upset figure still looming your way. It is half charred, and it is half missing a lot of its skin. You see where there should be skeleton, there is nothing but, like, very dark, just almost, not crimson, but just almost black, dark muscle. Unnaturally so. At this point, you're not even sure if this is a possession, if this is straight up a demon or something.
Wonderful. Unfortunately, I don't have anything holy that will work against the demon, and I'm fairly certain that the demons would be immune to spontaneous disintegration.
Derb manages to go over and just literally kick the gate open and just says, "Go!" As he kind of just turns around and with his other literally stand their ground like they're going to fight this thing.
I tell them, I'll be fine. You run. I've got a plan.
Um, they don't really seem too inclined to take your word.
Do it. Please.
Derb seems more sympathetic and kind of starts walking towards the gate, but then turns around to see that his other is not moving. Gert is not budging. Gert will go at him for all he can. A good 13. That will actually work, and he will just start wailing on this guy. As he actually starts setting more aflame, trying to get this orc off of him.
I
12,
scream at him. Hold him still.
13, and a nat 20. He is just wailing this guy with all this suppressed rage. He manages to somewhat get behind him enough to somewhat hold him in place.
I run up with my dagger that's not on a chain and try and stab what I believe was used to be Pharrell.
Alright. You know what? Roll a d20 for me real quick.
Yeah. 18.
Alright, you manage to evade one awesome styled matrix move maneuver as a stray fireball gets rocketed in you like a last-ditched effort. As you essentially stab where?
Chest.
Chest
Just
of
straight in the
what
chest.
of what was left of this skin or whatever.
Yes.
The dagger, your disintegrating dagger, glows as basically Pharrell starts to disintegrate his skin, and there's nothing left but this black mass of whatever is underneath him left. The eyes still glow a dark neon yellowish orange as basically this very skinny-like humanoid figure, skeletal in nature, stands there, still being constricted by this orc who glows with these patterns of fire-like evanescence close to the hellhounds.
I want to do a knowledge check to see if I know what this guy is.
Roll it.
15.
All right, you're not too skilled in the ways of demons, but as far as you can tell, it's a demon of some sort. You're not quite sure of what order or any specific legend of any kind.
Lovely. Okay.
This thing will roll at you with another fireball out of its mouth with a 13. It'll hit you with a good
Yeah.
20 points because you are close range and a
I
good
am very
20
close.
fire damage as well. You are
Ouch.
on fire, but you believe with the rain you will not be on fire for long.
Well, I mean, my cloak is soaked anyway, so.
Yes. Derb stands behind you as far as you can tell, kind of looking on in awe or horror or something. Gert will continue to wail with a 7, a miss, a struggle, a 15, a good whap, a 17 with a good whap, and another 7, a miss.
Okay, I want to... This is going to be odd. How close are we to the flowers?
You're near the gate, but you're not necessarily close to any flowers. Not like you can reach out and grab one.
Understood. I want to rush over to one of the flowers.
Okay.
I want to pick it.
Okay.
Actually, I want to pick several of the flowers.
Just grab a handful of flowers.
Grab a handful of flowers. Okay. Has anything happened in that time?
No, this thing is still struggling all it can as this raged half-orc is trying to hold him at bay and literally wail on him.
I want to run back over, slam the flowers into that thing's chest with my hand, and cast Plant Eye. I want the roots to weave their way throughout his entire body, just ripping him asunder into one giant plant thing.
Alright, I'll go at you with another 15 of a fire blast. You want to roll to dodge?
Nope, I'll take it.
Alright, straight up front damage. It's another 40 damage.
If I
And you,
dodge, I won't. If I dodge, I won't be able to. I'd have to remove my hand from his chest and everything, and I won't be able to tell if the
as far as
spell
you,
was cast adequately.
as best as you can, you try and basically, literally, like, try to punch through his chest with these flowers in hand.
Yeah.
You essentially go through whatever this skin-like material is pretty easily, and enough for these weeds to stick in him.
I want to try and Fern Gully this thing. Turn it
Alright.
into a. Have you seen that part?
Oh yes, you want to hexus this up in here. Um,
Exactly.
this is a little bit more complicated. Roll a d20 for me.
Please work. I've got a 19.
A 19. Alright, now roll me one contest.
15.
I got a
Please.
16.
No.
Alright, you are just good enough. You believe you can Fern Gully this, but he is struggling too much with this orc that basically you can't get a good concentrative read on this, and it actually breaks free from the orc. But you did enough to basically pretty much enclose this creature, at least his top torso, so it's like demonic legs with an enclosure. You
Okay.
managed to enclose its top half as this thing starts sporadically kind of running about like the old-fashioned cartoon with the egg with the legs on it.
I want to use the last of my magic that I have on me right now and try and use the grass to just hold his legs up, or to tie his legs up.
Alright, as you formulate that, he basically just starts sprinting in a direction away from you.
I'm just picturing this really dark legs with a barrel on top of their head.
Practically! This thing essentially just bolts it away from you, and as far as you can tell, disappears somewhere within the ranch. Gert is not looking good. He just collapses as Derb runs over to try and pick him back up.
Now will you guys try and run? I still have an idea.
Derb nods as they make their way towards the gate and presumably leave.
Okay. Do I know? Did I see which building he might have started hiding in?
As far as you can tell, he ran over towards the pens.
Well, I will follow suit.
You start making your way over. The storm is still not letting up. Thunder and wind just crashes and blows as much as it likes. You make your way over towards the pens. A lot of the animals are kind of hunkering under their little shelters in this weather.
Mm-hmm.
You see maybe a fence post or two. Looks like it's knocked over. You can only guess that's where it entered.
Okay. I want to perception, see if I can find him.
Okay.
I've got a 9.
You can make out some form of footprints. It looks like he kind of weaved his way over towards the barn, looks like he maybe cut through here to get towards the barn. Not even sure if this thing can see.
Do I hear anything?
As far as you can tell, it's just the thunder and the still deafening bellows of the demon spawns being ripped asunder.
So there's no clue. I can't track him.
You think the footprints lead back around like it's going towards the barn, but you shouldn't believe it should be that hard, as you're not sure if this thing can see.
Well, then I'll follow the footprints swiftly.
You follow the footprints. You do see what looks like a large indentation, like it maybe had fallen over or ran into something in like the pig pen here. And you happen to look over. All the pigs are huddled over to one corner, not underneath the shelter. They're out just in the rain. One of them seems to be half underneath the shelter, and it looks like its top torso's ever so slightly become demon spawn by some means.
Okay, so that must mean he is over in that direction. I look over. I start heading over there.
You kind of follow through, and you now notice there are at least 20 or so hellhounds in this barn, as far as you can gather. There literally looks like a straight up hole in the side of the barn.
I'm not looking for hellhounds. I'm looking for the guy himself.
As far as you can tell, there's a perfect barrel-shaped hole with legs hole into the barn.
I stepped through it.
You continue inside, and this thing is literally lost in this swarm of hellhounds, just battering itself back and forth, trying to find something it can't see. It's disoriented, screaming.
I take a I just casually walk up to it while I take a sip of mana.
You're back to full health. You now notice this thing kind of stops and is now starting to steam. Or smoke, if you will.
I'm going to I throw my ball of moss by him.
It lands lazily around its feet.
Cast plant eye on it.
What do you intend to do?
I want this moss to rupture in mossy vines and just completely consume him.
Finish the job.
Finish him.
Roll it.
Fatality. 18. I don't think that's a fatality.
That is good enough. You're not sure this thing will kill him, but it will probably Fern Gully and enclose it. The fact that you have had your moss with you in this soaking rain actually has made it swell. In this fantastical display, this moss ruptures up in mossy vines, not only capturing this egg of a demon up in its top tendrils, it also grasps about 5 or 6 of these hellhounds in this contorted tree-like configuration as it solidifies, enclosing these hellhounds and this egg-like creature within its hardening bark as it forms this demonic Christmas tree of sorts.
Brilliant.
As far as you can tell, they're not getting out of this thing. The few hellhounds that are left have taken notice of this commotion, but continue back to their meals. As it looks like the demon spawns are all but dead.
Excellent, then. My work here is done. I take out the crystal and just ask for a ride home.
You hold the crystal in your hands. It starts to glow. Within about 5 seconds, poof, this little blue plume of smoke rockets up, and there's the drunk wizard himself, still downing his flask.
Hello, my friend.
Another finger goes up to tell you to wait. Ah, him! As he belches a good time or two. Whoa! As he realizes this gigantic demonic Christmas tree. What did you do?
I found the source of the rotted meat.
Yeah! That's a tree! That's not meat!
No, the tree's mine. Inside is a demon thing that was turning all these farm animals into mass-producing, slimy pustules of growths.
He looks around and actually picks up one of his feet that's sticking to the floor. Okay.
And ignore the hellhounds, they're just cleaning up.
Right. Okay. As he takes another swig. There, okay, now I can maybe cope better.
Yeah, I didn't think you were quite drunk enough for it, but I need help. I do need help.
Ride?
Yep. Need to file a report. This guy's not going anywhere anytime soon.
And just like that, Bartleby snaps his fingers, and you are teleported out of there, back safe and sound home. Now leaving nice, dripping wet marks on your new hardwood floors. Well, I haven't done anything today. Important.
That's alright. You helped me. That's important to me.
I guess so. What was that all about? What are we gonna do about that?
I need to inform the guild immediately.
Uh, okay.
We have a lot of investigating to do. I give him a debrief of everything that occurred while I'm writing it down at the same time, so I don't leave the message in the hand of a drunk wizard.
To which he goes over and he picks up this piece of paper you've now scratched everything down on, and he goes, flips it upside down like he can't read it, squints a little bit.
Just
Hang on, and he goes over and rings this new doorbell that has been installed next to this little closet, and whoop, your drow friend has appeared.
oh well, then I don't need the paper.
What's up?
I debrief the drow
Oh
and have
my.
Bartleby hand him the paper. That's my report.
That's a thing. Okay.
That's a thing.
We. It's best if I get Relic over there. He'll know how to handle these containments safely. But we'll get to it.
I appreciate it. Oh, and before you go, there are 2 half-orcs on their way from the barn. They are exceptionally battered, and they were exceptionally mistreated by this demon.
We'll send out a search party.
I appreciate it.
And that will close up this campaign for now.
I am going to love to death this plant I spell.
Right. You took a lot of damage, but you did well. Didn't even use a health potion on yourself. Which is good, because you were out of them.
Yeah.
Um,
It was risky.
the drow essentially tells you they will try their best to decouple and to contain these demons until they can figure out what to properly do with them. They will put up a quarantine around the farm as well and send out investigative team with a contingency of guards as well to contain any things that may lie about as well as try and get the ranch possibly under new management, and of course cancel all orders from such ranch in the meantime.
Yes. I also inform him that the hellhounds might have been breeding nearby, so be a lookout for pups.
They will also take that into consideration with the search parties.
Yes.
Alright, that will just about do it.
You know, it's a beautiful end.
At least for now. Until your next adventure, I believe that will be just about it. You're just about to go to bed, frankly, as it is early, but it is still late.
I can at least take a couple hours nap.
Yes, what you
It's
plan
been a long
to,
night.
as you have been up the entire day and partial of the night as well. When basically you're keeping it, you're just about to go to bed, kind of. You're just lounging on one of your couches you've drugged in. Bartleby's gone back to the potionarium, and Sabrek is teleported back to attend to everything. And you take a breather when you hear a vacuum.
A vacuum, I'm sorry, hold on. Better?
Yes. To which you hear knocking on that teleportation door again.
I just open it up.
You are greeted by the unhappy sight of Lyle. He's in a panic. Mr. Scaithe, quick! We need your assistance. We've got a major issue over here. You just close the door on him and let him rant, and just go back to the couch.
I love it.
You will save that adventure for a future time. Until next time, guys, I have been your DM, and with me as always has been Scaithe the Half-Elf as Daniel.
Pleasure, as always.